God never puts, we say this all the time, he never puts more on you than you can. I hear some folks say it. He never puts more on you than you can. All right. 1 Corinthians chapter 10, verse number 13. The Bible tells us that no temptation is able to overcome us. What are you saying there, Paul? God knows what you can take before you take it. See, while you hollering about I can't take it, God already knows not only can you take it, you can make it. You talking about I don't know how I'm gonna make it. God already seen that you've made it and you've grown through what you made. But you can't give up and you can't lose your trust in God because you starting to have doubt in your mind about what God already says you can do. Lord have mercy. Yes. In times of uncertainty, trust in the Lord. In times of darkness, keep trusting in God. And even when things are not going well for you, keep holding on to his unchanging hand. Secondly, on this morning, secondly, somebody, y'all look like y'all ready to get tucked in the bed. Secondly, we need to look at not only the air of uncertainty, but the failure of recognition. The Bible tells us that while these two men were walking and conversating, they were joined by someone. In the midst of their conversion and walking, there appeared Jesus. Here was the one that they had placed all their hopes in. Here was the one they had wanted to see since his death on the cross. These two men were just talking about their events pertaining to Jesus, and here he was walking with them. But watch this. There was something unusual about this situation. The Bible says that while they were walking and talking with Jesus, they didn't recognize Jesus. He was standing right next to them and talking to them, and they didn't even recognize him. There's two reasons for that. If you look over in Mark chapter 16, verse number 12, the Bible tells us that here was another account of what we're reading in Luke chapter 24. The Bible tells us that as these two men were walking by, Jesus was in another form. In other words, Jesus put on another form, or was in another form, looked like somebody else while he was walking with them. Y'all don't miss this. But then the second thing is found in verses 15 and 16 of Luke chapter 24. The Bible says that their eyes were restrained so that they could not see him. Jesus was in another form, and they couldn't see him as they would normally see him. So here it was. These two men walking along, and this man is walking with them. They don't recognize who he is, and they really can't see him as they saw him before. Somebody ain't getting this. Sometimes in our lives, when we think that things are going bad, when we think things are going wrong, Jesus is right there. And sometimes Jesus is in the situation and we don't even recognize him in the situation. See, I got time for this. Sometimes we sitting down, we sitting there and we just scratching our head going, how we gonna get through this? How am I gonna deal with this? Then somebody will come along and start saying some things from the Word of God to comfort and aid you. And you're like, where did this come from? Y'all know something about Jesus. He'll give you what you need when you need it. And when you're going through some things, he'll give you what you need so you can make it through what you're going through. But He don't show up in a parade. Amen, somebody. He don't show up with the marching 100. Amen, somebody. He don't show up with all the fireworks and fanfare. Sometimes Jesus show up in the most subtle ways imaginable. Y'all look at me funny. Y'all look at me funny. Go to 1 Kings chapter 19. 1 Kings chapter 19. My brother Vaughn dropped everything all over the place. 1 Kings chapter 19. Very familiar passage. We need to see how God works. Begin at verse number 1. And Ahab told Jezebel all that Elijah had done. Also how he had executed all the prophets with the sword. Then Jezebel sent a message to Elijah, saying, let the gods do to me, and more also, if I do not make your life as one of them by tomorrow about this time. It's a bad woman, though. Y'all don't miss this. That's a bad woman. Told the man of God, about this time tomorrow, you won't be like these other prophets over here. We joke. Amen, somebody. Watch what he did. Verse number 3, and when he saw that, he arose and ran for his life, went to Beersheba, which belongs to Judah, and left his servant dead. But he himself went a day's journey into the wilderness, came and sat under a broom tree, and he prayed that he might die. Y'all in here on the woman? Please don't miss this. This woman said, you're going to be dead by tomorrow. This man picked up, ran, went down to Beersheba, left his servant, and ran a whole day's journey. This man was scared. This was the wrong woman to be messed with. But notice this. Let's see ourselves in this. The Bible says he prayed that he might die. Have you ever been in a situation where you say, Lord, just take my life? That things have been so bad, I just wish I could leave. I'm keeping it 100 up in here. There's some things that come in our lives, we say, Lord, it's just better if you just go ahead and take me. But watch this, watch this. The Bible says this. And he prayed that he might die, and he said, it is enough. Now, Lord, take my life, for I'm no better than my fathers. Then he, as he laid and slept under a broom tree, suddenly an angel touched him and said, arise and eat. He did look, and there by his head was a cake baked on coals and a jar of water. So he ate and drank and laid down again. Don't you understand? Don't miss this morning. While you're going through your struggles, God will give you the strength to keep on going. Amen. When you're ready to give up, when you're ready to give in, God will give you the strength. And when he gives you the strength, you have enough strength to keep on going to the next day. Amen. Why is it that some folks give up, and why is it some folks move on? Because the folks that move on have been strengthened by God, and they keep on moving. Amen. We ain't through.